Hello YouTube and all ships at sea. This is Steven the Mini Scratcher bringing you another high quality video production. Yeah, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a tutorial. I know, right? Weird, huh? Never done one before, so we'll just have to see how this works out. And what is the tutorial about? Well, first let me get a few, I need to say a few words first. Refrigerator, Susquehanna, blender, coffee, and Saskatoon. Alright, now that those words are out of the way, let me go on to the disclaimer. Remember, I am not a professional. Okay? I'm not what you call a professional. So please, do this at home. This is what a tutorial is all about, right? So, what are we doing today? We are making clump foliage with my little recipe, which apparently is not completely original, but there's no other video for my method on the internet that I was able to find. So through suggestion of a guy who's been a real good supporter of my channel and of my efforts, Anthony Bragg, his link to his YouTube channel will be in the description. Good guy. He does this for a living. He knows what he's doing, so check him out. What we're going to be doing is taking this big old chunk of foam right here, which, trust me, I've got plenty to spare, believe me, an entire couch cushion's worth. And we're going to turn it from that into this. Yes, a nice fine grind of, and eventually we'll get to that point, it'll get down to about this. Yeah, I'll show you how that works too. But of course, you have to break it down. I mean, you can't just put this big honking chunk of foam into your blender. That's just kind of stupid, right? Okay. So I tear it down by hand, just rip it up with my fingers into these manageable chunks. No big deal, right? Okay, and what do we do with that? Well, we open up our handy dandy blender and we just put those bad boys down in there. Just like that. Does it look like it's too much? Yeah, it may look like it's too much, but not once you mush it down. And I'll show you how that works here in just a second. Alright, now we need moisture in order for the blender to blend properly, right? And for most tutorials about making clump foliage, just hitting the blend button at this point will get you started, right? Mine's a little bit different. Mine gives you a slightly finer grind by the usage of ice. That's right, ice. Just good old-fashioned frozen H2O. And why, pray tell, would I add ice to this particular recipe? Well, as I alluded to in an earlier video, when your blades are spinning, they're hitting the foam, but they're doing a little cutting, but they're mostly pushing the foam out of the way, right? So if the blade can hit the foam with something hard behind it, like this piece of ice, there's more contact. There's more surface area for the blades to make contact with the foam. So, and this is a method it's effective, but it's very time consuming, and you do need patience to get this done. There's going to be a lot of loud noise, so I'll probably blank out the sound if I have that option. I don't know. I don't have video editing software. I'm depending all on YouTube stuff. I'll figure something out to help out with that. I might want to put a few. And I do this all. I don't have a specific formula. I just do it by eye and by feel to see where I need to be with this. So, all right. Without further ado, or a bunch of ado, either way, you know, whatever's your preference. Let's begin. You'd be hard-pressed to get it any finer without it being dust. And sometimes, because the setting for this blender is on an icy drink right now, it develops the consistency of a frozen margarita. So you may have to add a little water. Like I said, I do this all by sight and by feel. There's no written formula percentage-wise from foam to ice to water. You just kind of have to do it by what looks right to you, and just play around with it and see what works right for you. Goodness, that was loud, wasn't it? Oh dear, I apologize for that. I'll figure out something with that. Okay, all right. So what I like to do is let it rest. I don't want to... Ooh, shook the camera. I am so sorry. We don't want the motor to burn out, so we will come back to this in just a minute. Stand by, won't you please? Okay, I'm back. I had to take a break to let this kind of settle. The foam on top, the water at the bottom. There's still ice inside the foam, and that's one of the things you have to be patient with, is you have to wait for that to come to room temperature and for all that ice to melt. And if you've ever had an icy beverage, you understand it can take a while for all that iciness to go away in small particle form like that. It seems to last longer than cubes for some reason. I don't know why. But it's in crushed ice form, so it sticks to the foam for quite some time. And my normal procedure after I reach this stage is I give a little check of my consistency, my professional consistency checker tool here. And I just kind of mush it up against the glass and see what size particles I'm dealing with here. And we're down to a decently small size, it looks like. So yeah, that'll work. That'll work. And the next step in the process, of course, is waiting for the ice to completely melt. And forgive me, I'm a little out of breath. While I was waiting for this to stratify, I was outside playing with the neighbor's dog. We're kind of dog sitting while she's gone this weekend. So, and it's a very high-spirited, large dog who likes fetch a lot. So I've been kind of winding myself a little bit out there. I shouldn't really be doing that, but you know, what the heck. Alright, where was I? Oh yes. I wait for the ice to melt. You may get some trapped in the spigot here. Give that a little tap-a-rooney to get that out before you start pouring this off. And of course I drain out as much water out of the spigot as I can without the foam getting into it. Doesn't always work. It's kind of an iffy proposition. And once there's no ice left in there, it's all water. I take the foam out and I wrap it in 2 or 3 layers of cheesecloth and wring it out by hand. And then, of course, I started this too late in the day today, but normally here in the summertime in Tennessee in the South, we get a nice sunny day. The temperature gets up there and it dries things out very rapidly. So once it dries to that stage, it's ready for painting, the applying of the paint and the PVA. Now that I'm not going to show you that process, because there's enough videos that cover that aspect of clump foliage and such that it's not that hard to figure out. You're just adding your color or colors. You may mix colors to your taste, and the PVA until it reaches the consistency that you want, which makes you able to clump it, as in clump foliage. Now I've taken things a step further. I can actually get it finer than this, because once you add the glue and the paint, this tends to thicken up and your chunks are larger. You know, hence the name clump foliage, right? Only makes sense. But once I've got that mixture dry, once the paint and the PVA is dry in the foam, I break out this little unit right here, which is nothing more than an inexpensive Black & Decker mini chopper type dealie. I use that for getting it down to a finer grind, so that way I'm not just making clump foliage, but I'm also making turf. And I've gotten it down to, for my scale, what would be a medium to fine turf, such as this custom blend right here. I've got several colors, 4 colors I believe is what I have in this mix. In custom colors, I want for mine kind of a fall feel to it, without the bright colors of fall, more of a drab, like the end of November type of fall, like just before winter. So that's my mix for that. But you can put that, and also I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought completely. It just derailed. This little mini chopper mixer here is also good for blending different colors together. You need to be careful of that though, because unless you're looking to make your particles more fine, you could be in trouble. So depends on what you want, the size that you want. You can control it. Like I said, you can leave the ice out completely and have a much clumpier clumpage. Stand by and I'll show you an example of that over here on my diagram table. Okay, this is some that I made without the ice. You can see it's a tad thicker, bigger clumps. Not a whole lot bigger, but you know, bigger enough. Bigger enough. Wow, nice use of the language, Steve. Okay, anyway, so that's where we stand. Let me see. Let me think if I'm leaving anything out. I don't think I am. I'm gonna work on this batch once I cut off of here, get this finished thawing and drying, and I'll work on that and some coloration and so forth for that. And well, I would like to thank Mr. Anthony Bragg of 2009 Bragg Miniatures, Anthony Bragg. His YouTube channel address will be in the link at the bottom. I would like to thank him for the invaluable advice and support and encouragement that he's given me during my project. I know he's not, you know, the theme of my diorama is probably not to his cup of tea, so to speak, but he still encourages me, and I think anybody who has a creative bent likes to encourage other people who have a creative bent. So I'd like to thank him for that, and I think that's about all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching. If you like this video, hit the little thumbs up thing there, or thumbs down if you don't like it. That's fine too. I'm not that picky. Just some kind of feedback, you know. If you have any questions or comments, just put them down below in the comments section, and we'll work it from there. And I'll help you any way I can. And if I don't know the answer to something, I will flat out tell you I don't know, and I will direct you to somebody much more qualified that can answer your question for you, because I do not know everything. I barely know anything. I'm so dumb, not only do I not know, I barely suspect. You know what I'm saying? So there are a lot of people out there that I'm learning a lot from, and they've probably forgotten more than I'll ever learn, but a lot of respect to folks in the terrain community as well as the model train community and so forth. Good bunch of folks out there, and I appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, be well.